Hey guys, this is Matthew Movies coming at you again. This time I'm going to be talking about the week in wrestling. So, first off, I want to talk about Raw. It's the first week of Kevin Owens' Universal Championship reign, and so it was the whole thing was a setup for him to be put into a feud with Seth Rollins, and yeah, I'm interested in where that goes. I think that they may have a lot of chemistry in the ring, so I think their matches could be phenomenal. But the one thing I really don't want to see is at the end of the show they set it up where Roman Reigns is going to have a match next week, and if he wins it, then he gets put in that as well. And I really don't want to see that. I think Roman Reigns is a pretty cold fish at this moment. I think he has a lot of potential. So I'd like to see him do something, but I don't want him anywhere near the world title scene at the moment. Maybe throw him into a feud with Chris Jericho. I think that would have some potential because Jericho is on fire lately, so I think he could do a lot with him. But I really don't want to see him anywhere near the title scene. And on the other side, the other thing on Raw that really caught my eye was the Sasha Banks promo. I hated it. I thought her delivery was terrible. All across the board. It felt really stunted. She was fumbling all over her words, well, like I do here. But again, I'm not a professional. She should be, so I really didn't like that. But then I also really didn't like the whole concept where she was manipulating everybody. Like she's supposed to be a good guy. She shouldn't be wanting to play with the fans' emotions like that. I mean, I know that the whole idea was that she was going to be doing that twist for Charlotte, but it also plays on the fan, so I thought that came off really poorly. On the SmackDown side of things, I really can't stand how they've been using Dean Ambrose lately. I really hate his kookiness. The whole coffee thing was stupid. Him bringing out the bowling trophy was it seems so sophomoric to me. I don't care for any of that. But on the other end of that feud, there's AJ Styles, and I really hope he wins the title. I think he's absolutely on fire. I've watched him. I remember watching him all the way back when he was in the tail end of WCW. So I've seen him for years and years, and I've never seen him be even remotely as good as he is right now. I mean, his in-ring stuff was always fantastic, but as a character, he's just on fire. I never saw any of his New Japan stuff, so maybe he was awesome there. I've heard everything I've heard says that he was, but I didn't see it, and I'm not sure if it was his character stuff there or if it was his wrestling. If you saw it, please let me know in the comments below. Then you had the Uso heel turn. I am ecstatic that they finally turned those guys. I think I like the Usos a lot, but I felt that they've been stale for a very long time. So it's great to see them kind of go to the other side. I really look, and they had a promo on later in the night. I can't remember if it was on SmackDown or on Talking Smack, but it was great. It was a great explanation, and so I'm really happy to see them do some changes for them. And then it has an interesting effect on the tag tournament going forward because Gable and Jordan are out of the tournament now because apparently Gable is hurt. So I'll be interested to see what they do. I know on Talking Smack they announced that the Usos will fight the Hype Bros at the pay-per-view, and whoever wins that will then go on to fight the Slater and Rhino. So I'm really interested to see what happens coming out of that, especially because the Usos just turned, so having them lose may not be the best idea, but I really want to see Slater and Rhino with the title, so I'll be very curious. Then you have the six-pack challenge for the women's title. The problem I think I'm having with this is they keep bringing out all 6 women together. They had a match at one point in the night. They had the interview early, and to me, it really draws your attention to how shallow the division is. 6 people is not nearly enough, I think. So I really think that they need to bring in some new talent. I know NXT's women's division is also pretty shallow at the moment, so maybe not someone from there. It'd be awesome to see Asuka up, obviously, but she's the women's title holder in NXT, and there's not really anybody who you could really see taking her spot. So maybe they probably won't want to do that anytime soon. But maybe bring in someone like Santana Garrett. She was in TNA. She was great. She had a great character, I thought, or at least at the very least, she really committed to the character. And she's been in NXT a few times, and I thought she was great there too. When it comes to the aforementioned NXT, one of my major things that I really like is I really like the idea that after people wrestle in the Cruiserweight Classic, if they lose, that some of them are coming over and having like one-off appearances in NXT, and who knows what that can turn into for them. But the thing I really dislike about it is that they're all losing their matches. Unless I'm wrong, maybe there might be been one exception, but I don't think there was. I think they all just lose, which I think really makes the Cruiserweight Classic look little league. If they can't even stand up against the developmental talent, then it makes it look really, really quite crappy in my opinion. I mean, I know these are the guys who've lost, but they didn't lose. Like they had two guys on there, like Tony Nese and Daivari brother. I can't think of his first name. They both won matches in the tournament, so the fact that they lost is really crappy in my opinion. Ember Moon, I really quite like her quite a bit. I think she has lots of charisma and a real aura, and she look like there's a presence there. I really don't like the fact that she's doing the stunner off the top rope. The move looks absolutely beautiful, like just stunning, but you see what I did there? But I feel like it's really, really dangerous, and I feel like a lot of people could easily be hurt with that move. Because when you're in midair like that, I feel like you're having the control to keep the other person safe is pretty minimal. I would think. And then you have Andrade Cien Almas. This guy really desperately needs to be repackaged. You have No Way Jose, who's doing a character that feels very similar, but is actually getting over with the fans, whereas Almas, he feels just cold, just so cold. So I really hope they repackage him. From everything I understand, he was a phenomenal before he joined NXT, so I'd really like to see him get a new chance with a new character. When it comes to the Cruiserweight Classic itself, again, it's a show that's just super entertaining, but it's just matches. So as far as the matches go, as per usual, they were great, especially now that they're in the second round. They're really picking up. I really like that Noam Dar won. I think he's awesome. I remember watching him in the second season of TNA's British Boot Camp, and I thought he was great there. So it's really cool to see him get an opportunity at the big leagues. Zack Sabre Jr., I'm not really sold on him. I'd always heard that he was phenomenal. I should stop using that word so much, but anyways, I'd always heard that he's great. And his in-ring work is really good. Like his moves are really crisp and all that. But I don't like his selling. There was an exception with this match. I thought it was really cool how he did he changed up his finishing move, the submission there, using his legs instead of his arms because his arms had been beaten up so much in the match. I thought that was really interesting. But his actual selling in the body of the match, I think, is really poor. It looks unconvincing. He doesn't do enough. He doesn't sell the move. Like he makes moves look like they're not really doing the damage that they should be, in my opinion. Then finally, when it comes to Impact, because I'm doing Impact this week, they introduced the Grand Champion, and it's they're going to have these matches where it's 3 rounds of 3 minutes, and if you don't have a submission or a pinfall by the end of it, then it goes to the judges. They had 2 matches. Both of them had pinfalls in it, which I thought was a really crappy way to introduce it, because then what is the point? The points make no difference in either of the 2 matches that you introduce it in, so I thought that was stupid. I also just don't like the concept in general. I feel like the rounds really just break up a match that could be a lot better, and it doesn't really improve the story because you know that it's not legitimate. Like the scoring is just predetermined, just like the match winner is. So I don't care for the concept, but I do think it's interesting that they're trying to go for a more sports-like feel, especially when you compare it to what they did later in the show, which is Delete or Decay, which is the sequel to Final Deletion, and it's much more of a like goofy, over-the-top story, and personally I didn't really care for it. I liked the Final Deletion. I thought it was interesting and entertaining, but I thought that this was just, it was too close, too similar. Like they had the scene in the first one where Jeff Hardy all of a sudden becomes Willow, and in this one, Abyss all of a sudden becomes Joseph Park. Now it was great seeing Joseph Park back because I always thought that character was really entertaining, but I thought it was really dumb that it was so close to the original. And also, who are you supposed to care about? Who do you want? Who are supposed to be rooting for in this? Like you have Matt Hardy who's going around biting people instead of fans, and brainwashing his brother, and then you have Decay that are kidnapping people. Like, who am I supposed to be rooting for here? And then the other thing that was noteworthy on Impact to me was they had the press conference, which I thought came off really minor league. Having the people who were clearly fans, not the press, like there was a guy who was doing the when EC3 came out. I thought that was really crappy. If you're gonna hold a press conference, either A, just don't show the crowd, or B, have actual press there. Otherwise, it comes off really Little League, and that's especially problematic when it's for the world title and it's involving the segment involving your brand new president that you're trying to make a much bigger deal. So I really didn't care for that segment either. So let me know what you think. Did you watch these shows? Did you like the parts that I talked about? Do you disagree with what I said? Were there other parts that jumped out at you? Please let me know in the comments below, and please subscribe. Have a nice day.